Hello, everyone. Suzanne Taylor King here today, live for the Productive and Prosperous Entrepreneur Coffee Chat. And I don't have coffee today. I have water today because I'm trying to hydrate after 2 buckets of coffee. But we are here today and every Friday talking to one of the amazing members of the Idea Lab community for entrepreneurs. And Coach Sara Phillips is a new connection of mine, but it was very evident right away that we were going to be connected. We got each other. I love her vibe. And she calls herself more of an enrollment coach for coaches, helping coaches enroll more clients. And I made a post last week about how are you doing with enrollment, not only enrollment into your coaching programs and your offers, but enrolling people into your ideas. So, this is probably one of the things I love so much about Sara. So, welcome, Sara, to Coffee Chat.
Thank you so much, Suzanne. I am I am so thrilled to be here. I love you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Like you said, we have not known each other very long, but right away I got it. You are one of my tribe, and so I'm just thrilled to be here.
Well, Joanna, the lovely Joanna Kleiman, is watching on LinkedIn. Hi, Joanna. It's been forever. You're going to love Sara, so make sure you connect with her. So, the purpose of this show really is to feature incredible members of my tribe and my community, but also to talk about entrepreneurship in general and what makes you feel more productive and more prosperous. So, let's start with productive. How do you stay productive working at home, being in the online space? Do you have any secrets or tips to share with us?
A couple of things. When I first started, I was not as productive. What I found myself doing was working from 9 o'clock in the morning until 9 o'clock at night.
Yes.
It was crazy. I was trying to do everything. It was nuts. I was exhausted. I was not. And my business coach, when she found out, she was like, "Are you crazy? What
Hmm.
is wrong with you?" So she introduced me to something called the Pomodoro method, which
Yes.
I love. If you have not gone, it's pomodoro.io, I think it is. There's a timer, and
Hmm.
you literally work 25 minutes, take a 5-minute break, work 25 minutes, take a 5-minute break, work 25 minutes, take a 15-minute break.
Hmm.
That little tiny bit of time allows you to kind of reset. And the other thing that I do, which it sounds so counterintuitive, and when she first told me, I was like, "Katya, you've lost your mind." But I trust her totally. So, um, is she taught me to take a break for an hour to an hour and a half in the middle of every day.
Hmm.
And when I started doing it, I started doing the research behind, okay, why is this working? Because it was. Well, what I found out was, we take in billions of pieces of information a day, and our mind processes those. Well, if we don't take that break in the middle of the day, by the time we get to the second half of the day, we're not we are nowhere near as effective
Hmm.
because our head is still trying to process what we took in this morning.
Yes.
But if you take that hour to an hour and a half, it's like starting over the second half of the day with a morning brain.
I love that. One, I love the Pomodoro method. Great resource, great tips. I also love the idea of cleaning your brain at the middle in the middle of the day like that. And the number of inputs that we are currently bombarded with, this video included for whoever's watching it, this is an input. This counts as an input. We get about 60,000 of those a day. 60,000 inputs, pieces of information for our brain to either throw away, file, or whatever. And if you're not cleaning the trash, it's really quite overwhelming. Um, so I love the idea of taking a break midday, whether it's a nap or a walk outside, or the break every 15 minutes to every 60 minutes. I do about 1,000-second timer on my phone. Just if I'm sitting down, I stand up and do 10 squats, get a glass of water, come back, sit down, refocus.
Yep.
Um, what would you say moved the needle? Where did it help you the most when you started to do that?
I just became super productive during
Mm.
the time that I had. So now instead of working from 9 o'clock in the morning till 9 o'clock at night, I am now getting the same amount of work done from 9 o'clock in the morning until about 4 or 5 in the afternoon with an hour and a half break in the middle of it.
Oh, let's repeat that for those of you in the back that did not hear that. Sara used to work 12 to 14-hour days, as did I in my business. Once we realized the power of this, what happened? You're now working a normal day with a break and getting more work done.
Yep. Not
Wow.
only more work done, but better quality work on top of
Mm.
that. Because
And what
now it's like my mind takes what I put in this morning. After this, I'm going into my hour and a half break. I will take all of this, I'll process it. I don't think about work. I don't do anything to do with work. I'm not planning the rest of my day. Work is gone for that time period. And when I come back, I am super productive again.
love it.
Yeah.
So I
It's been a game changer.
I love what you said about work being gone. Do you have something that you do, like when you get up from this conversation and you're going to go into your break? Do you have a ritual or something that you do that separates work from home or work from being off work? Is there something you do to trigger that for yourself?
There is, and it's a very funny trigger because it's the one thing that people say, "Oh, don't do that during the workday." It is. I get on my phone and I play a game.
Mm,
It
okay.
totally disconnects me. My mind is now 100% on the game and how do I do it?
Mhm.
And then after that, then I can go eat. I can play with the dog. I can go for a walk. I can call a friend. I can do whatever. But it serves as a dividing wall.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Now I just do a pause at my office door, and I leave computer and phone on my desk
Mm-hmm.
when I go so that, I'm not tempted to
Yep.
that. And I just pause at the door and just say, "Okay, work is in here."
Yep.
But I think that's important. The ritual of separating the 2 is very
Absolutely.
important. You know, coach hat is on my desk and I'm stepping into mom or wife or friend or me.
Or Suzanne. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Well, no surprise we're on the same page with that. How long have you been doing this practice and having these awarenesses? Has it made you more money in your business?
Oh yeah. It,
Yeah.
well, I don't. It's funny, um, because the money that it has made me is more money per hour. Even
Ah,
even if
ah.
it has made me more money, but even if it hadn't,
Mhm.
when you think about the fact that I went from about a 75-hour week to now literally, about a 30-hour week,
Uh-huh.
even if I never made another penny, I doubled my income per hour.
Yeah.
Just that
Wow.
alone is phenomenal. But then,
Well,
yes,
that's
I made more money too. So.
yeah, so that's a reason, like, that could be a driver for any entrepreneur listening to this to really look at not only digital minimalism, not only, Pomodoro method, not only how can I be more productive in less time, separate work from home. Gosh, this is so juicy. We could probably talk for an hour on that. But feeling more prosperous. Prosperous is one of my favorite words because it actually doesn't have a lot to do with money when you really look at the meaning of the word. It's more about feeling hopeful and fulfilled and looking towards the future. And what you just said really drives home the fact for entrepreneurs to feel valued in the work that you are doing. And when you're working 80 or 90 hours a week, you might be charging your clients a perfectly fine rate. But if you're spreading that across to all of those hours you're not being paid, you feel like you're making no money.
Yep.
So, how has this made you feel not only more prosperous money wise, but more life in your life, right?
Yes.
I
It is, you know, the key to life is feeling valuable.
yeah,
And it's not, like you say, it's not necessarily monetarily valuable. I am very blessed that in the next 3 weeks, I am going on 2 cruises.
nice.
And I get to take that time and spend time with my friends, people that I love, people that mean something to me. Um, and it is because I created room in my life for that.
Mm,
I made it a priority by saying, no, I don't have to work 75, 80 hours a week every week. You know, one of the things that I strive towards in life is one of my coaches, she works 4 days a week, 3 weeks a month, 11 months a year.
beautiful. Beautiful.
That's my goal. I'm like, that's a life.
Yes. Yes, and I think um we became entrepreneurs because we wanted more freedom.
Yep.
We wanted to have more time off. We wanted to have more flexibility in our schedule and with our time. And we end up finding ourselves working for a kind of bitchy boss
Hmm.
who has us working too much with too many expectations and just a to-do list that would probably take 4 people to actually accomplish. And I can speak very comfortably that, yeah, that was me. And now, once I've adopted some of the things that we've talked about, people think that I'm working a lot. People think that I have 4 people on my team, but I don't. And it's really kind of amazing when you get more purposeful.
Yeah. Well, like you said, we got in this to have more freedom, and what we found was we constructed our own prison,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
and we're the guard too. We're the
Yeah.
prisoner, we're the guard, we're the warden, we're the builder, we're
Mhm.
everything. And one of the things that I found amazing about learning to make me a priority in my life was all of a sudden things became really clear to me that endless to-do list that I had was making me a human being, a human doing. I
Mm.
don't want to be a human doing.
Yeah.
I want to be a human being. And so by the ability to do that, to be a human being and make myself a priority in my life, all of a sudden things became really clear. Things that I didn't see before, that is like, why am I doing all of these different things?
Mhm.
Because let's face it, what we spend most of our time doing is marketing ourselves.
Mhm.
And the reality is we need 3 good ways. And everything else is, you find, okay, these three things are what bring in my clients, and you invest your time doing them. And everything else is a big fat waste of time.
Yep.
So, that's one of the things that
That's a
I
good
do
mic drop
when
there,
I teach
Sara.
people enrollment is to
Mhm.
say, okay, where are your clients coming from? Let's focus time and energy on that. It goes back to the Pareto principle. 80% of your stuff comes from 20% of your effort.
Yes.
So why are we spending time on the other 80%? Just spend it on the 20%.
Yeah. Well, there's numerous people that have come into my life within the past year who agree with that. And I'm going to tag them in the comments. Mike's watching. He said, "Great point, Sara. We create our own prison and assume the role of prison guard." Yes. And Tiara says, "I want to be a human being, not a human doing." Yes. You're welcome. Um, so I think moving forward, what is the big thing you would love to say to anyone thinking about improving their enrollment and working with you?
The biggest thing is stop thinking of it as painful. It's not. You're not doing something to somebody. You are there to love them and to support them.
Mm,
But that comes from asking them questions about where they want to go. Because oftentimes, in fact, I talked to somebody yesterday, and this was amazing to me. I asked him, I was like, I'm interested in finding out more about what you do. This was an open invitation for him to give me a pitch.
mm-hmm.
He literally spent 20 minutes talking nonstop, and not once did he ask me a question about what I wanted.
Hmm.
Needless to say, I'm having a conversation with him this afternoon about, yeah, we get to improve the process.
Mm-hmm.
But enrollment is about curiosity and helping people solve their problem.
Yes. And in order to do that, we have to ask questions. Even if we just have a networking connection call with someone, I just had an amazing one this morning. And we have to listen, we have to ask questions, and not from the point of, oh, I'm going to sell her and sign her up for my program or my coaching, but listening from the point of, I took notes and I wrote down, send her this and introduce her to this person, send her my video training I did Monday, see if that resonates with her. I think it will. Um, and no attachment. I'm
Yep.
just showing up and serving that other person. And you do this really, really well. So, anybody listening who wants to connect with Sara and learn more about what she does and ask her some curious questions about what she does, she's going to put the link in the comments on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and on my YouTube channel. So if you want to catch all of these interviews, head over to that YouTube channel and subscribe. And there's more content there with interviews and stuff from my community. And of course, you want to meet other entrepreneurs like the amazing Sara Phillips. Join the Idea Lab community. The link is in my profile to read all about it and all the subgroups that are coming for January launch with all of my experts. Super exciting times to be in community with other entrepreneurs. And Sara, thank you so much for joining us here for the Productive and Prosperous Coffee Chat. I love our conversation, and make sure you come back and put your link to your calendar and connect with Sara on LinkedIn. You won't be disappointed.
Absolutely. I would love to add two things. Number one, Suzanne had invited me via LinkedIn to join Idea Lab a little while back, and I'm so sorry that I didn't do it sooner because
Oh, thank you.
what, seriously, what a quality group of coaches and individuals there are in this group. I'm so impressed by that.
Well,
And the other thing is I did want to tell everybody that I am having a Black Friday sale.
oh,
I am going to do a group coaching that normally, with all the bonuses and the extras that I'm putting in there, would normally run $23.97. I have taking 67% off of that and selling it for $7.97.
wow.
So jump on my calendar if that's something that you'd like to talk to me about. I'd love to talk to you about it.
I
Thank you
love that.
so much for having me, Suzanne.
Oh, thank you. You're a rock star, and if I could just put you on a stage and have you just be yourself to everybody, that would like fill my day with joy. So I love people like you, and if you want to meet more people like that, come hang out with us. You'll have a good time.
Thank you, Suzanne.
Thank you, honey.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving.